Hell no. Now that's better. This is your president, MiZZ Entertainment, and welcome to the Power Hour. We getting ready to kick this thing off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right. What's up, everybody? This is your girl, MiZZ Entertainment. I am your president of the Real Ass People Society. So welcome to the Power Hour here on Terradome Entertainment Radio, where we play the best hits from old school to new school hip hop, R&B, and more. So go to terradomeentradio.com, click on the Listen Live button, or you can catch us on Live 365 app. And of course, I'm not in the place alone. Let me introduce my Chief Entertainment Officer, DJ Talented.
What's happening? I'm trying to find the damn applause button. There we go. All right. What's good, people? What's good? I'm in the land of living. We all been drinking a little bit. So we gonna get this show started. And my famous saying is, it's better to be above it than under it. You dig?
You dig. Yes. Let's do it. All right. And to my one of these hands, Selena, yes, Professor B in the house.
Hello, how are you? How's everyone this wonderful evening?
All right. And the sultress, Miss Denell Porché.
Hey. Yeah, I am a little sultry now.
So you know what? We're going to just jump right into it because, we just got to talk about this election results. So, let's just...
Oh, my God!
I know. We got to kick that thing off. So, how y'all feeling? What was your reaction when you heard the news?
I was not surprised.
Really? Tell me why.
I think Kamala had a great fight. It was something about the way it was happening that I had a feeling that just based on how many other things have changed prior to him running, that he shouldn't have even been allowed to run. But I just had a feeling that he, it was going to be directed in this particular manner.
Wow. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Me, so I wasn't married anyway because I don't represent a party. Mm-hmm. Because for me now in my life, I am seeking effective behavior change. No party has shown me that.
Yes.
And so for me, I was not surprised either. Mm-hmm. And so I woke up that morning. I honestly wasn't listening to anything because, again, with everything that's going on, I'm very much, I don't use the word protective, but I'm big on cultivating a space of peace and calm. Mm-hmm. And so I wasn't willing to participate. And so I wasn't shocked because, again, we haven't done our work. And I can explain that further, but it's like it's about individual work so we don't have to see that again. And I need everybody to participate. So, no, I was not shocked.
So tell me more about that individual work because I truly don't understand. I was definitely nobody is perfect, and I get it. There's no party perfect, but I am not going to vote against my own personal interests. And you got somebody that's telling me all these things that he's going to do that I don't support, so I have no choice but to vote for her.
Right.
But it's like I don't understand I don't understand the mindset, especially women, that our rights have been taken away for, governing our own body. Mm-hmm. And you have somebody that's saying, yep, I did that, but you're still supporting that. I don't understand. I was confused. I really was confused.
You were confused?
I really was confused.
So you woke up confused or you went into confusion?
Now, I purposely did not listen to the election propaganda over, I did not. So I woke up because I didn't want that to affect my sleep because,
right.
I don't barely get sleep anyway. So I wanted to at least get that little bit that I can get. Mm-hmm. So I woke up that morning, it's like, okay, Lord, what is it? And I was like, God damn!
Yeah, I got it.
What?
Yeah,
oh my God!
For real. I found out during my workout, a lady was just like, yeah, we didn't win. I said, okay. So I realized, I was like, yeah, that dude is in office. So, yeah, it was, yeah.
So what do you mean by we didn't do our work? Tell me more about that.
Okay, so in my philosophy of life and where I'm at in life, I feel chaos preempts peace. So for me, I actually feel things are changing. It's going to look bad. It's going to look horrible. I don't know if we've even gotten to the lowest bar. But anything that needs to clear out, anything that needs to change, anything energetically, and I'm speaking on the, mental, emotional, spiritual level, we have to see it.
Exactly.
And so for me, we ain't seen it yet for having to visit Trump again, because he was already here. And so, so we got to see it again. And so for me, my hope, my wish, my advocacy, my high expectancy is that we begin to do our individual work.
Exactly.
And what I mean is being able to look at what he is presenting, what he is demonstrating, and where that is in your life. Now, it might not look like how Trump does it, but I guarantee the energy is there, because if the energy was not there, he would not be in office.
Yeah,
and it's a collective affair, because we are a collective of individual beliefs, realities, how it is that we react, how it is that we move, how it is that we're triggered, all of that. So it was funny because my neighbor, shout out to my neighbor, we had a nice conversation, and she asked me the same question about him being a mirror, because she was like, I don't see you being like him. And I said, it's not that I have moved like him the way that he moves, but the energy behind the movement is still the same. It's fear. And again, fear has little subtitles, regret.
He did run on a fear tactic.
Right.
That's his whole campaign.
Correct. Resentment, anger, frustration. So somewhere in my life,
Isn't that
I
the
am.
same with, what's the name, Hitler? Same fear tactic.
Right. And it's not okay.
It's not okay.
So where am I moving in my life where I'm still functioning from a place of fear? And I'm going to share it in this way. So, and I'm going to try and say it as quickly as possible. She wanted an example. And so I said, for example, because she used the word self-centered. And I said, well, I too have been self-centered, because I just recently found out that in me wanting to be in a relationship, my desire to be in a relationship, I have not learned how to be a friend to a man that I might like.
Okay.
There is a selfishness energy that is in that, because I want something from him. Now, for me, again, you know me, I'm big on deeper diving and stuff like that. That type of energy supports why Trump is in the office. It don't move like him, but it's the same energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the expect. So that's what I mean. Excuse me. As far as him being a mirror for where we are at in our society, and I taking an individual look as how I am moving, and am I moving in the grace of love? Am I moving in the grace of stillness? Am I moving in the grace of peace and kindness? Because that's not kind with the energy of me being selfish, wanting to be in a relationship, but I also ain't learned how to have a friendship. And again, there's deeper meaning to that, but I appreciate having this recent experience, a deeper dive within myself, because I wouldn't have known. And this is how I've been moving all my life, and this is what ushered Trump into the experience. Now, some people be like, well, Denell, I don't agree with you, and it's fine. But my thing is, please get the lesson. He's here because we're, as a collective, moving in that way. Can you accept that? Can you receive that? And somewhere
spoken.
Correct.
Right.
And the season in your life, somewhere in that you move too. But some people don't want to see that, and that's where the harsh, that too adds to him being there, because you're not willing to see how it is that you move and behave in your life, how it is that you lie, how it is that you cheat, how is it that you are resentment, how it is that you are anger, how is it that anything that is betrayed, you just do it. It might look different than how he do it, but you do it.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right. DJ Talented, what are your thoughts when you heard?
My thoughts was we fucked. and the reason why I think that is because this man has sat there and told you every damn thing that he plans on doing this term, which is turning this shit into a dictatorship, which is getting rid of all civil rights agencies. So that means that your civil rights is going to be gone. getting rid of the Department of Education. What else? Giving police immunity to anything negative that they do. So George Floyd, all the rest of them that done died, you know, the new instances will be forgiven, basically. So any black person that get killed by police, they're not going to give a fuck about it. And it's going to continue that way until he get out of office. But my thoughts is, if he turned into a dictatorship, he's never coming out.
Not until he pass on.
Exactly.
And then it's going to continue that way because it's the new law. So whoever goes in after him,
right,
is definitely not going to be.
They're going to keep it up.
It's definitely not going to be anybody for the people.
Right.
Trump is all for himself and billionaires. He's going to give a tax cut to billionaires. So who has to take care of the rest of the taxes that the billionaires don't have to pay? The normal people, the regular people. He's going to put a tariff on outside imports. Who going to have to take care of that? The regular people. So whoever voted for this man, I don't know why you did that or why you chose to do that. He has put signs in since his first term. I have people that I know that has said that he didn't incite that situation on the Capitol, which he did. But they said, oh, well, I ain't never seen that. Trump said that he can go in the middle of New York and kill somebody in broad daylight and get away with it. Oh, I ain't never heard that. Grab women by the pussy. Oh, I ain't never heard that. How the hell do you not hear that?
Convicted felon.
Right.
Pretty much. You're a convicted felon.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't know that. How do you not know that? All this stuff has been on TV and all this type of stuff. Well, they could have been just saying that. Go bury yourself right now. That's what I got to say.
So let me say this. Do you think it was a good thing that he is the next president? And the reason why I say that is because they had been threatening civil war, definitely civil unrest. So if he would have won, would we be in a civil war right now?
We're going to be in a civil war regardless.
But I'm just saying, do you think that we would have been in a civil unrest? Because I know for a fact that certain major companies was gearing up with extra security if Kamala would have won, because they felt that some other folks, if they would have lost, would have been acting a fool.
If Trump would have lost, they're gonna act a fool anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're gonna act a fool anyway.
Play it like the wrong people voted, or there was something wrong with voting. But there was gonna be an issue regardless if he wouldn't have won. And since he did win, there's still gonna be civil situations that's going on because he's cutting out all civil agencies.
But he hasn't done it yet. I'm talking about immediately. What I'm talking about immediately after it was announced, he is our next president. That's what I'm talking about.
There was going to be some situations because even right before they announced that he was president, I've heard that some group of people were targeting black women and doing negative things to black women. So it had started already, regardless whether he won or not. It had started already, and it's going to continue because now every policeman got the right to do whatever the fuck they want to do, whenever the fuck they want to do it, and how the fuck they want to do it.
I see. Professor B writes a note.
Because I wanted everybody get their spiel, so I can reflect back to certain things when we talk about the Department of Education.
Yes,
How do
definitely.
I often say have your own educational plan at home? So we have to elevate ourselves and do those things that we need to be doing anyway as parents. So if he takes away the Department of Education, why can we not as a community get together and educate our own children? So we can't look at it as if he's doing this to us. No, he's elevating us to do what we should have been doing anyway.
Come on. Yes! That's what I'm talking
I just
about.
want to bring that home.
Okay.
Because Because I
I'm
taught
sorry.
my own son. So any child that was around me while I was teaching my child, I taught them. And for us to be the children that we need to be, because we were born with an existence of being able to send signals to the sun, the moon, and the stars without asking the government for permission. So why is it now that he's coming into office, we should feel like our children cannot have those things? No, we're behind. So if you eliminate this particular thing, you're not hurting me.
Right.
You may be hurting some other people because they're solely dependent on that system. I never depend on it. I never did agree with it, don't support it. I'm a part of it because I got pulled into it.
Say what? Come through.
I'm just saying, I don't have a certification, but I'm certified by the Most High because it saw fit for me to be a parent. I'm just saying. So as a parent, these are the things that I've done. So I'm not upset. If you give it a Department of Education, that means we need to be doing what we already should have been doing. Did we not? Then our ancestors did not. Our forefathers, did they not sacrifice life and limb to make sure their children were educated?
Yes.
And be able to read. So what is the problem now?
That's true.
We can wrap this up.
No, you better come out that
I am
damn chair.
about to come out of the chair.
And that goes back to what you said, Tara. What is we should not be eating our own food that we grow. So fine, I don't need you to bring in your produce. I don't need you to bring in your fruits and vegetables. We can do it right here in our yard. Should we be eating smaller portions? Should we be eating certain ways? Well, now we're controlling our own food and our health. They don't want us to do that, no way. That means I don't need your pills, your prescription, your medication. So again, we're going to elevate ourselves. I see it that way. So, okay, that goes to another one.
Let's get it on.
Okay, the police is what concerns me.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you what concerns. First of all, I can say that I've already experienced being attacked as a black woman when Trump was in office the last time, and it happened to me on a freeway. But see, I looked like him to a black woman that he can come after. What he failed to realize, I was raised and the only girl for 26 years amongst men. So my uncles and brothers and them taught me. Never had a need or want for nothing. So I knew how to play chicken. You ever play chicken on the road? That's a form of drag racing. Or who gives first, because otherwise you're finna crash. I was doing chicken in 9.
Okay, tell me more about this.
So when this guy comes up on the side of me, and he had got so much in my car, he's trying to push me off the road. And I said, oh, he's pushing me off the road. And when I realized it, I was like, oh, okay, but see, it's second nature because I played chicken before. I was raised by him. We done drag race. Hello, Illinois and Warren in Detroit, Michigan. My uncle Shelby and Ben were the ones who taught me how to drag. I used to be called a little girl in the pink pajamas. I had no business being out there, but I with my uncles.
You're right.
So I reached in the back seat and I grabbed this golf club. I rolled my window down. And I was about to bust his window out and go through my car into his car. He realized he didn't have the traditional black female that he can come after. Right. So he shot back across the street that way. And at the whole time I'm talking, Chris can bear witness to the story because you can't tell a story without giving credit to a source. He can bear witness to the story. You've met Chris. This one we just really talk about. He's on the phone through the blue speaker hollering my name, Selena, 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 because he's trying to bring me back. And I'm trying to tell him to shut up because I'm about to tear his ass up over here on the side. And he's telling me, Selena, where you at? So I'm on 285, exit 235. So it's a good thing he was asking, where you at? He's trying to snap me out of me. Where you at? So somebody had to come get you. What is this exercise? And I'm moving. Moving means 80 is my comfort zone. So heck, we going toe to toe. When he realized, then he goes up the second way. And the reason why I say the police, because also in my journey, in my story, I've dealt with police who look like me, who I could not trust. So when we say we have these police officers out here, we want to put our trust in the ones that look like us to look out for us. But in my history and in my experience, I can't say I can trust you. I want to. Yeah. But I also got to remember, so I have a concern when it says our police. And, of course, we're looking at, we picked that one because he looks like us. He's this and that. But I cannot say that when it comes to a black police officer, I give them the benefit of the doubt. Right. And, I just give them the benefit of the doubt. But I know what to look for. Okay, next.
Go ahead, Mr. Denell, because
No, she just spoke about individual word. You know what I'm saying? She just spoke. So you just spoke about individual word. And I don't want anyone to forget how much we have endured, that our ancestors have endured, and where we have been able to do whatever and whenever in the time of need or distress. My ask, though, is how is that we do this in the confidence of love and being loving? And I'm not saying love does not come with a fight.
That's so
And
true.
people, there's a misunderstanding that love does not come with a fight. Or there might have to be where what you just demonstrated, okay, I'm going to protect myself any means necessary in order to live, because I know what the type of person that I'm dealing with. So there's this misconception, because there was history told from a perspective. There were revolts happening. There's a reason why the laws was out there.
yes.
We were not a docile group.
Right.
Can y'all
You right.
hear
you
me
right.
on that?
Yes, I can hear you on that.
Okay.
We're gonna fight back.
So there's a reason why they didn't want the Nat Turner, and his rise to share. Things were happening.
That's right.
And I feel like there's a failure to understand that, or when George Floyd took place, police could not manage that. And there was a police officer that vocalized that to an anchor who commented, because the anchor was attempting to, nag at the police officer. And he was like, "Sir, you don't understand what we don't have." And it wasn't where it was just one city that was revival. I'm going to call it a revival, or revolting. It was several cities. It was very much not just black or white. There was many. So there's a point to where there cannot be control if they are not understanding the balance that needs to be created. And so I just feel like there's this misinterpretation of us as a people,
Right.
and that we don't know how to fight. I feel like it's more of because we've had to learn how to tolerate stuff, but don't get it twisted.
Right.
And I think there's a misnomer
Right.
that we can't handle certain situations if it needs. I feel like and God bless me for saying this, but my white Caucasian brothers and sisters, they've been lied to. It's this, that there's not a point to where, no, your behavior needs to be corrected too, because there was a narrative put out on both races. And so again, you have those that are acting out who are my Caucasian brothers and sisters because they know of a narrative, and the narrative ain't been changed. That's why they act like toddlers, because things are changing. That's why you got to get back to behavior, and it's where that has not been addressed. And that's what we're asking for, is an addressment to the toddler stage that some, not everybody, are in and remain in. And because, they can do anything, or the white privilege or what have you, there's a grow up or maturity that needs to take place, as well as in our community, but to address that. So it's like, even when I hear about people asking for 40 acres and a mule?
Right.
I ain't asking for that. This is me personally. I need you to correct your behavior. And that's why, for me, I'm looking for effective behavior change. Not from one party, not for two parties. I want everybody to have effective behavior change so that we can coexist. Because for me, we don't have to be here. And I think that's also a failure of understanding. We as a humanity do not have to be here. The dinosaurs have taught us that. The species that have outgrown this place have told we can implode. And we can be so much in violence and so much in fear that is driving the violence that we can annihilate each other. And I feel like there's a failure to understand, or when they came out with that atomic bomb and then the H-bomb came and there was a treaty that was done to be like, hey, maybe we need to chill out.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have an agreement that we're not going to drop an H-bomb. Because you're annihilating like half the world.
Yes.
Right.
Because
Including yourself.
Because of fear. Fear that is, promoted within the power.
Yeah.
It's the misuse of power. So that is my share.
propaganda.
But you went back to individual work, because it's okay. So you can't get the schools together. All right. well, I'm going to go ahead and create community. That's where
Right.
we've come from.
Exactly.
True.
So yes, there are, and I'm not speaking from a place where you have to be mindful of other people's beliefs and the beliefs and their righteousness that comes out of their belief. So I'm not saying not to protect yourself or anything out, but can you
Exactly.
move in a place of love? So in the event that happens, and if it's where there's harm and danger, yeah, go ahead and protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying not protect
Exactly,
yourself.
exactly.
So don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Okay.
There must be a change within us. We also
Absolutely.
need to change. So when we go to asking for this person doing this and this person, we're not getting this, but what are we doing? Because there are so many things that we're doing to one another.
True.
Even when you say the educational system inside the workplace, there's different how you would say divisions. The community is not cohesive all the way together. It's just temporarily we all gonna get along. But over here you got this clique, you got this going on, then you got this going on, and then you got the teacher and you got the parents, and the teachers feel like they get blamed for everything. The parents feel like the teachers ain't doing enough, even though they gave birth to the child. So it still goes back to when we start asking for change. If we just do the change within ourselves, the change may come. We got work we need to do. We should have been done some things.
True. True.
I figure like this. We started Tulsa with just us black people. We need to start another one.
Yes.
But in saying that, the opposite side of that is they tore down the first one, and every other one that was. Why should we start another one? Well, we do need to, as black people, we need to come together like every other nationality does.
Yes.
Mexicans, what do they do when they make money over here?
They send it back home.
Send
Yes.
it back to Mexico. Asians, what do they do when they make businesses over here? They hire their own kind.
Yes.
You don't see a black, a Mexican, a white, or any other
Unless they're
nationality.
in our community. If they're in
Yes.
our community, they'll put a black, the blackface keep that money coming in.
Yes.
Right. But 9 times out of 10, they're sending their money back to their people.
That's
over
right.
in
Yeah,
their
the
country.
money circulation is in there.
Where do we send our money to? Right back to the white people.
Yep.
Yeah.
As
We
soon as
going
we
out
get
and
it,
we buying some designer this and designer that.
as soon as we get it, we sending it back to them. All other nationalities keep it within their nationality, or send it back to their countries. We the only people that's misplaced
Yes.
by our own choice.
Mm-hmm.
So they're mentally
No,
still.
no. Well,
I would say they're
yeah.
mentally still fucking us. We still in slavery mentally. And once we can come together as a people and break that mental fuck that's going on, we will be in a good place. But other than that, we're going to be in the same place we at now.
So let me ask y'all this.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have friends, family, whatever the case may be, that voted for Trump, are you still friends with them?
I don't have anyone that has told me they voted for Trump. Now, this is how it was expressed to me. I visited a school on Thursday, and they said, now remember, he voted for Trump. So before you go over there, because you know how we knew each other back before Trump, I'm giving you the warning, he voted for Trump. Well, it's not surprising. So, it's you got to prepare for how you approach the situation because he's a Trump. So you got to think that's kind of like, but far as a black person, we haven't discussed it. It's just been assumed who you voted for.
True.
But I can't say that I know somebody that's black that voted for Trump. I don't know anybody who's flat out gonna tell that. Secretly, we don't know who is voted for who. We just assuming that they did not, but I cannot say.
Well, a lot of folks did because on our side, because we got Biden in, we got Obama in, because we came together.
Right.
So a lot of us did not come together to get in Kamala.
Is it because she's a female?
That's a good question. What do you think about that? Because I don't understand that either. What her gender
We're
does
still
has
living
to do
in a
with.
male-dominant
Her
society.
gender does have. How she pee has nothing to do with what she gonna do.
But unfortunately, it's that's still like. I'm trying to think of a great way to say this, like a household. The man is the head of the household. The woman should submit to the man, and he should have the final decision. That's fine, but the woman still has a brain. She still can think. And if you need a partner who is your helpmate to help you make a decision, she is there with her wisdom and her beauty. So, again, they're looking at women. Maybe they're still not ready for women to be in that position.
I think of race consciousness, so there's a term called race consciousness where it includes all the isms. Again, it gets down to people's belief systems, and are people willing to challenge their belief systems?
Yes.
Most aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So they're functioning from what they've been taught. They're functioning
Yes.
from what they've seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's what they've interpreted
Yes.
as children, as teenagers,
Mm-hmm.
where they are in their life, what their reality is. So for me, because of where I'm at and because I practice differently within myself, I practice neutrality. So I don't care if I'm sitting in front of Trump. Just don't, Trump supporter, just don't put your hands on me. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, I am not married anymore to somebody else's belief system, because I am inquiring about my own that needs correction. And how is it that I would like to believe right now? How is it I would like to be right now? So, because at this point in time, I would rather you do as you please versus you feeling like you can't do it, because there'll be a time where there may be a woman in president
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
But, I don't think folks is ready, because again, we got Trump in the office.
Exactly.
So
I think that's what it is.
It's the challenge of belief system, and are people so married to their belief system
right.
that I can't deviate or see something different. And that's really what, again, for me, it goes back to that scripture. And I don't want to bring up the Bible, but everything's about principality, and it is. It's about your principle.
Mm-hmm.
What principle do you stand on? What principles don't you stand on? What are you integrity of? Because you can be integral, but what is it of?
Mm-hmm.
You can be honest, but what you honest with? What's
about
guiding you, and what's, So I'm not saying folks are not in error, but it's just a combination of belief systems that are coming together that are not willing to expand and evolve. And at some point,
Yes.
there has to be a willingness. Again,
Yes.
that's a principle.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you a will of? Okay, so am I will of, I'm interested in seeing people grow. I'm interested to see an expansion and change. I would like to see people benefit and support. I just don't want it to be where I'm the only one that's getting poured into. I want to see a community grow.
Right.
What are you willing to? So those are the questions that I have, because again, it gets down to principality. And mostly all traditions and religions talk about principality.
Mm-hmm.
There's a common theme, and that's what's being challenged. Because right now we are out of order, and accountability is out of order. And integral, we're integral to lies. We are integral to cheating. We're integral to unaccountability.
Mm-hmm.
We're integral to selfishness.
Yes.
But my thing is
Control.
control, being self-centered. And again, I'm not saying good, bad, right, or wrong, because I've been trained to be in a non-judgmental way.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like that's an issue, how is it that I become not only the effective change that I want to see, but you are the change agent? I need you to see that you're the change agent. It ain't going to come outside of you. So I ain't going to get it from Trump, because he's the mirror. So you are the change agent. So if you think we're out of error, if you think that this is missed, if you think that this is not here, you become it.
I still don't know
I know.
how somebody pees has anything to do with their leadership.
It doesn't.
It gets down to belief system.
It gets exactly. It doesn't.
Some people don't see your
don't wanna
management
make that
style.
change.
Yeah.
They're just not ready for that change.
Yeah.
They celebrate. Oh, she's a black woman and she's doing this and she blah blah blah. Oh, but she finna run the country. Wait a minute, hold on.
And it's
But I can do everything else.
Okay, so we can, but you got to remember there was a time that we were not supposed to do anything but what? Be the mother at the household and take care of the kids. Now we're the
And
mother
open
of the
our
household.
legs.
Yep, and that's it. When you say it, when you ready. So we've come a long way to saying, well, I would like to this, and can I do this, and can we do this, and can we partner in this? And we've come from being like a personal piece of property to a partnership. In a relationship, this is a partnership. We're growing collectively together, and we have to partner and have ideas and thoughts and come together on a conclusion. So we've come a long ways, but maybe they're not ready to say, okay, but you finna run all of this.
Yeah, and I get it, but I don't get it because we all got brains,
right?
There are
Exactly.
There are stupid men just as well as there are stupid women. How you pee has nothing to do with your leadership or your intelligence,
intellect.
But it's been associated with that. You have matriarchies that exist. At some point, there were societies that exist where the woman was actually the leadership. And it was nothing about but. So, to me, again, societal changes, perception changes. Well, I need to be in the leadership and in the order. And for me, I ask in my life now, even with my own things that I misinterpreted, or I believe that I misinterpreted, because, again, being a child, then a teenager, then this, then that. And I'm just like, oh, I was so out of order. And I said, and again, this adds to what's happening now. Because, again, belief system.
Right.
I think.
We were taught out of belief systems.
Correct.
When I think about just growing up as a young lady, again, I was raised by the men, so I thought different. And they wanted me to think different. They instilled certain things into me. I can recall my Uncle Shelby sitting on the porch telling me when we seen a lady come from this guy's house, you don't have to sleep with no man to get those type of things. He's telling me then what I needed to know and what I didn't have to do. However, there were some women who don't have that. So growing up, where some women, your neighbors, and they were married or whatever, and everybody pretty much had a husband in the neighborhood, but there was also a lot of violence going on. So when I think about our children in American public school system, when I say a child can come from a two-parent household and don't see love, well, that's the reason why.
That's true.
Or where I just recently hanging out with one of my besties, she told me, okay, so working in school or working at a facility as a nurse shared, and again, I'm paraphrasing because I want to make sure I say it in the way, but in her reality, she was just like, you shouldn't be getting your services from pretty much a woman that's not kept up. Because in her reality, having the hair and the makeup, so you shouldn't be getting your treatment in her mind an unkept nurse, because how much they're being paid. That belief system don't even work for me, because I'm thinking out of all this clinic, we some beautiful ass women, who are nurses. So when I was told that, I said, I don't even know what I would have said had I heard that.
Right.
So, again, I'm not knocking that belief system, right? But it definitely opened my eyes to see, okay, I see why she behaves in the manner that she does.
Right.
So let me...
that rules her life.
Let me... So she's a nurse.
She's a nurse.
And she said that...
She said to a patient
that if your nurse is busted, you don't need to be dealing with her.
Pretty much. This company is paying too much for you not to have a nurse who ain't made up.
And again, I'm paraphrasing. She could be sending it home to her country.
And that's true. But my thing is, that is an example of a belief system in action. Because in her mind, every nurse apparently need to look similar or her. Discrediting everything that what each individual nurse looked like. And it was amazing when she said, I asked her to repeat it again. It was crazy to me. But I don't know if, had I heard that, what I would have said. Because I was just like, you're discrediting everything about women here. But that's your belief system. And that's what rules you. Right. That is your God. Okay, let me go deep. So, you got metaphysics, right? So, taught metaphysics, looking at the Bible. So one of the things, you got the 10 Commandments, right? 10 Commandments says, don't put any other God before me. That's a God. Because that's ruling your life. in my life. I tried everything but the God. Again, that was ruling my life. That's why my world looked a certain way at a certain point in time, and why I couldn't understand I'm not manifesting that. Because you're living by something that is a belief system that you have in place and what you think that your world should look like. And then you superimpose on other people. That is crazy to me. You just, and again, I don't know if she did it on purpose. She might have said that unconsciously. She might have said it consciously. Sometimes people don't know, I'm not saying most, don't know the belief system that they are actually functioning under and how it is that it's serving their community. But I was just like, you just discredit everybody. So I guess I busted too.
Because you don't
Damn. Because I don't wear makeup.
Right.
Or I don't put a wig. And I prefer my head shaved at this moment.
Right.
And will wear my bald ass head proudly. So it's you misconstrued everything about what a woman is.
Yes.
So it just adds to what
I get you, because I get the looks, the stares, her hair shaved. I get a lot of that.
Or you're sick,
right? Or something. Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. It's just just I just who I am.
Why we can't just be? That's
and if
who
you look
like you
at,
said, that's your personal.
That's
personal
my person.
preference.
If you look at me throughout the years, you will see that person once before. I'm just here again.
Going back to what we were actually saying, it's the race consciousness. It's principality. How is it that you moving and seeing and being with other people? And what is ruling your life? What is your guide while you were, engaging people? Why it is that you engage in yourself? So those are the questions I really would want to know, because it's just like it don't have nothing to do with what coochie I have or penis I have at the end of the day.
It does boil down to the belief system. You are so correct on that, because it's so many things that we believe. So you got to think about women of intelligence. When you think and use your mind and you're intelligent, it's kind of like I went out on a date with a young man. And he made a proposition. And the proposition, I weighed it out, which was a good one, but I really couldn't take it, because what he did not want was a woman to really work outside of the house. What he wanted was a woman. I'm providing you this immaculate $1 million home, but everything you do inside of here. I said, well, I'm in the community. I'm always doing something and blah, blah, blah. So you mean I can't do that part? He didn't want that. I said, so when I'm turning it down, he says, smart woman. So it's not odd.
He said smart woman.
He said smart woman.
I don't understand, but you want.
But you're smart enough to know you didn't fall for the house trick. You see what I'm saying? So how many women we fall? Oh, he gonna buy that house. I'm gonna drive this car. I'm gonna do that. We fall for that.
Or being cared for. Like some people have that association,
right,
to being care.
And to me, I was like, well, I may not have this, but I have this and this, and I'm gonna stay where I'm at, because I'm able to go out in the community. Being in the community doesn't mean I'm doing anything, but he didn't want that for a wife. But you don't say that up front. See, they're attracted to the intelligence until they get it home. Then they want to alter what it is.
Or where some people think, I've dated my share, and one particular guy, well, I'm the man of the house, so I rule the house. That did something to me. Yeah. And now I got a dad in the house right now.
Yeah, exactly right.
But I also was able to see two parents that had their own thing. And they agreed some time ago to where, hey, yes, we have these activities, but we meet here.
Right.
He didn't rule. But again, I also had to understand what is my meaning when it comes to ruling. Right. So that's where it's just like having those lovely conversations. Because I was just like, I don't know if I would fare well under the condition that you are coming from, because you have a different meaning of ruling compared to me.
Right.
And those are the deep discussions having to have with yourself. And that's what I mean about, again, going back to self and individual work. Hey, what am I really believing? What is really in my consciousness? What is it that I am in action doing in this community, in my home? To where, again, adding up to the whole topic of today, that I've created a Trump. Again, for a second term.
Right. And will it be the last term?
Lord.
That's the question.
That's
Will
the
it be
question.
another term? Because even though technically he's not supposed to have another one, but
But he
technically he's
has
not
to
supposed
sit-
to be able to
he has
run.
Congress.
So we don't know.
Well, I think that was it. Theodore. I don't want to get this wrong, but one of them presidents had 4 terms. So after Theodore Roosevelt, anyway, y'all correct me. One of them had 4 terms, and because of him, that's why they only do the 2 now. It was a president that had 4. It was the one in the wheelchair who had wheels.
But being that he is the president,
Mhm.
he can pass whatever. And if Congress, being that it's a Republican Congress, just listening to some of the commentators say it is possible for him to do it, to be that.
And I do think it's possible, but I don't think that it will give them the outcome that they're looking for. See, this is where you got to be smart in business and you got to be smart in politics.
Mm-hmm.
Where I question is there smartness in those 2 arenas? Because if you go too far left and too far right, there's no middle ground. So nobody wins. So will you have the America in the next 4 years that you actually want, who will spend money? Because really it gets down to, because money, some people, consciousness is ruled by money.
Mm-hmm.
Will those billionaires actually be able to make money? Or do you have a dictatorship and the freedom aspect goes? So it's a tricky, for me, I see it as a tricky game, because if you go too far to anything, nobody gets service. It was just like watching, again, the COVID experience come through. Everything shut down. Ain't nobody making no money.
Right.
And at the end of the day, they need people to work so that the people who own stuff make money.
Mm-hmm.
So again, do you cause conditions so much so that it's too far left, too far right? No one wins.
Well, if he plans on deporting immigrants and their American families,
They ain't gonna have no they don't got no workers,
Really.
and the companies are gonna suffer. Like I said,
They're
it's a
suffering
lot
now.
of things that are being shared on this 2025 plan, and I'm not saying that things can't happen. I really don't know. My responsibility is cultivating my household and within me
Amen.
peace and
Yes.
calm. So that's my responsibility, because that is my effect that I want to see in the world. Neither here or there. I don't know how this will play out, but if you go too far left and too far right, no one wins.
Right.
agreed.
And there will be no money made. And there's what people don't know, and it's quietly kept. There's a lot of investment in America. So if America switch any 2 way, ain't nobody outside of America and your other countries ain't gonna make no money either.
And we
So
owe
it's
a debt.
it's treacherous ground right now.
It really is.
Because I said, how y'all gonna play this? Because y'all too can lose out. It's not a play smart, and he's not a good businessman.
Nope, he's proven that.
He's not a good businessman.
Multiple bankruptcies.
That's what I
He's
said.
proven it.
We
He's
owe
not a
debt.
good. So I don't think the poll speaks, right? But I don't think every Republican person is in with him. So it's things that are being shown and shared, but it's the things that's behind closed doors that's not being shared. And it's the behind the closed doors where they got the puppet and other things that's happening. We got the puppet because we're going to tell them this, but there's things over here that's being taken place.
Right.
So it's the behind the scenes for me.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So where do we go from here? We're again experiencing a Trump world, and it's so funny that we did a show years ago before he became in office the first time. And I'm gonna have to go back and find that video. DJ Talent, do you remember when we did Men Do Talk? Things of it would be something life in a Trump world.
Living
in a Trump world.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Got to go back and find that video to see what predictions we had back then. Did it come true?
It's true.
But what
I
do
think
you guys?
they all did.
So what are your thoughts on where do we go from here? We are here.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't want to be
Yeah.
here, but we are here. So now how do we move forward?
I'm going to say I'm not worried about my house. My house is in order. We've always, prior to him becoming in office, we call it base camp. My son may say, hey, text the other one. I got the package. Well, the package was me. He made it home with the package. We have our own way of communicating, which may have started off as a gang, but it is actually an effective manner. So my house is already set up for whatever's to come. I would just say, people, get your house in order. Know where you finna be living at, know where you're gonna be grounded at. If you still decide I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, you need to have that in place. You need to have your house stored with whatever you need to have it stored with. We should not have certain items in our household in case you can't get to the grocery store? In case, what if they do a shutdown?
Mm.
What if they say martial law?
Mm.
What if they say you can't leave your house after a certain time? Do you have what you need in your house to function for a couple of days? We have to just get our house in order. I'm okay. I'm ready. Whatever you gonna come is gonna
Go out
come.
to your garden. Like,
yeah,
I'm
go out.
good.
Hey, that's good. Okay, well I can
We
eat
gonna
a
come
great.
down
I
to
can
Selena.
yeah.
Get our little grocery bag.
I can eat a pepper and be good for the day. Yep, I'm okay. We ready.
What you think, Miss Denell?
For me, I'm all about being ready, but I really need people to be loving spirits.
Yes.
I need where they speak about not only in the Torah and the Quran and the Bible and many other sacred texts, what is the fruit of the spirit that you are going to govern yourself by?
Right.
And I share that with you because in my own journey, I was gifted the fruit of gentleness, right? I did not realize how harsh, how resentful, how sad, how judgmental I was governing my own life. That's added to what Trump is there, okay?
Mhm.
So because that has been my practice prior to me having my own evolution, my own experience, I had to grow up in some things because I was like, I really don't know how to be gentle. I can be somewhat gentle, but then it's like, well, am I really being gentle towards other people? Not really, because I'm not doing it for me. So I don't care what you practice in regards to your faith, your spiritual practice or whatever. I cultivate a space where peace and calm exists. Because right now we are living in a time where fear is it is
Running
maturing.
rapid.
It was
Yeah.
just like somebody sent me something in regards to one of my followers. I think Vance. He was just like, and he's being cynical.
Right.
We're gonna control your bodies, and we have control over you. And he's just going. And I said, I said that there. I need you to not be triggered by that.
Right.
Because again, it's the feed off of the fear.
Right.
I'm gonna put you in a fearful state so that you react accordingly. I need folks to learn how to emote in a way where it's gentle and respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that respect. Again, you have to find out what your meaning of respect is.
Mhm.
I need people to do their work. This is the work.
Yeah.
So that it is an effect in what you don't see now. It is a change agent in what you are not seeing now. And that, for me, will add to I'm not going to say a utopia world, but where we have a coexistence that we are learning how to be in community with each other.
Exactly.
Because that is where, and the reason why I share it this way is because I just hot off the Grand Canyon walk, where I did a 40-day plus hike, backpacking, camping. Like when
Awesome.
I'm telling you bare minimum stuff. And when I'm
Right.
telling you, I'm seeing all ages, all races, all cultures out here. And we supporting each other? Ain't no way.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm like, yes, there's dissension. Yes, and I will acknowledge it. There are people out here doing this and that. But I won't not acknowledge that there is an underbelly of peace and calm that is
Yes.
coming through.
Yes.
Okay.
And like I said, with peace and calm happening, chaos must preempt it.
Yes.
It's gonna look ugly. It's not gonna look favorable. It's gonna be unpreferred. You're not gonna like it. You gonna hate it. So then, okay, if you hate it, what you gonna do differently? Because I need you to do something differently.
True.
So that it can be birthed through. So that's what I'm asking for.
All right, DJ Talented. What's your thoughts on what's next?
What's next? I would say be prepared
Mm-hmm.
for whatever.
Get your houses in order.
Yes, as the professor said, get your houses in order. Don't let anybody dictate what you're going to do in your life. With this new president, or well, I ain't going to never call it as a president, but with this new person that's going to be in the presidency, if everything that he says happens, be ready for it. That's my thoughts.
Okay. So before we go ahead on and just close out this segment, I'll give y'all last words on living in a Trump world again.
Part
being,
2.
Part two.
Yeah,
Part
part
two.
2. Being that you're that grief, what you're saying, grief counselor. What are you?
Oh, grief empowerment coach.
Grief-
So it's too
yeah.
far. Artist said grief empowerment coach.
Yes.
What you want me to ask?
What are your thoughts on how to? Because there was for me there was an actual sadness. You know, of like I just like I said in confusion. I just don't understand. How do we?
Like the only thing I can say is y'all be gentle. Like if you need to be sad or angry or whatever, be that. Don't stay there. Don't reside in that because that's what brought Trump in. That's what is bringing the conditions of the earth. That is what the world is demonstrating now. So what I need from you in the most loving and divine way is to be your authentic self and find out what gentleness, love, and kindness is. And grieve. So I have this acronym, giving right to internally emote and feel. We as a society are so bottled up. And again, I believe in light workers. I believe I'm a light worker. And a light worker is not a person that's going to heal you. We hold space for you to see yourself so that you can go do your work and go be the bright light that you need to be. Where you are not listening, where you are not being confident, where you are pushing down. So for me, that's what a healer or a light worker or people share. I hold space because I just want you to upgrade. Because I'm over here upgrading myself and holding myself accountable to doing my work so I can actually participate with you. So I need folks to emote and feel and give yourself a right and permission to do that, however that looks, because most of us are not doing that. There's 5 stages of grief, and pretty much people are probably in those 5 stages right now, okay? So for me, it's just like honor those spaces, but be that space. If you need 2 days, if you need, hell, I don't want to say 3 days because, again, I don't want you to stay, but 28 to 48 hours. After that, what is your action plan to be the best version of yourself? Because nobody has dominion on you being yourself.
Yes.
Nobody has dominion on being your highest self. Nobody has dominion because even our ancestors found joy in the most horrific.
This is true.
Horrific. Like when I'm thinking root slavery. But when I saw the Nat Turner, what's that movie? Birth of the Nation, where they revamped that, my mind was taken. I don't know how to, but in the conditions that they demonstrated in that particular movie, there was still joy that was found.
Yes.
Okay. So I need you to go find your joy. I need for, if there is something that is burning, like you just completely can't stand it, I need you to go be that. If the laws you can't stand, that's the passion in you that needs to go fix the law.
Yes.
Because we are one body with many parts. I'm not going to say I'm not good with law, but I know what my function is now. I did not know my function before, but I know that I'm a hand that I can hold space. So I'm going to hold that space as fucking great as I can. Because, again, somebody has been holding space for me to be the part that I need to play at the time such as this.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? So that's what I need. I need you to go be the effect that is unseen or you think is not seen and go be that part and be the best at it.
Yes.
Because that's what's needed right now.
All right. And
That's
she
what I
has
said.
dropped the mic.
Okay, I'm done.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Let's move on to the real ass question of the day. All right, I got one for y'all.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So we got we got a repeat president. So if Trump gives each adult in your current household $20,000 right now, physically live in your household, and a one-way ticket anywhere in the world you want to go, and you can't come back until he's out of being a president, what would you do?
I go go
$20,000
first.
always
is
That
not
20
a lot
it-
going to another. Where you gonna go outside another country?
Hey, you can go. I don't know. I'm just saying, he giving you $20,000. If you got 2 adults in there, then y'all got 40 grand
40,000. Okay, I
to
get
go
you.
wherever you want. He give you a free one-way ticket. Now you can't come back until he gone.
And
Now,
what
if he
about
if
my
he gonna be-
possessions?
You don't give a damn about that.
Okay.
You got to get the hell on. You got to get the hell on out of his country.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Being that I am a mature adult looking for an aspect, I currently, may not be a negative, but I cannot see leaving some of my family members need me here as the matriarch of the family to keep things stable. So I would have to decline because they really need that person they can look up to, that person they got. That's what they look at me for. I'm
Tax free,
right?
20
Yeah.
grand just
But-
deposit in your account. You can go woo woo.
I got to,
Down payment somewhere else. Third
my
world
roots
country.
is here. My roots is here too deep.
Because
So.
you can live good somewhere in some countries.
That's true. That's so true. That is so true.
You
But
live
I
good
got to
some-
think about the next generation. It's like she said, someone passed the baton down to me. So I got to be able to pass it to them, but they need to be able to see it too. So
Okay.
I just have to go down fighting.
All right, Denell.
I'm torn, but
That's a good one. I know,
it's like,
that's a
that's
tough one.
I'm like, what would I do? Honestly, because I've accepted now that I'm a visionary, for me, it's finding a country that's not so much in rival to where there's a safe haven. I'm going to go build because I'm a builder, and I've accepted that now. So in the event that there needs to be a space of, escape.
Right, there you go. That's a
Get
good
out.
thought process.
You
Yeah, that's a
know,
good
there's
thought
There's
process.
a space there, and that is prepared.
That's a
You
good
know,
thought
so
process.
for me, that's where I'm at because I've been the I don't want to say oddball, but just I moved different since inception. So
Right.
yeah,
So you going to take your 20 grand and do a piece, bitches, and you out.
And you know where I'm at.
but I'm over somewhere. I'm building somewhere.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's like because I'm thinking of my family.
Right.
You know, I'm not moving in a space to where I'm being self-centered. I'm being me.
Yeah.
So
Right.
because I want my people to be good. So stuff is here. Yeah, cool. I can come back because my family here. But
Yeah.
Nothing
He
wrong
said you
with the
couldn't
other
come back.
opportunity.
He
right.
said you couldn't come back while he in office.
that's fine, sir. I'm out.
Okay.
DJ Talented.
I don't think 20,000 is enough. To go on to third world countries, yes, it'll be more money than what their money is
Right.
for, but $20,000 isn't enough to establish enough in a third world country or any other country to be able to take your whole family. So if you don't take your whole family, you're going to feel like a butt going over there and surviving, and your people are still here going through Trump, going through shit, going through stuff that doesn't make any sense to nobody, not even himself.
Well, we would have 40,000.
Well, we will have 40,000, but that's still not enough.
Or technically 60.
That's three adults of the family. You have matriarchs, patriarchs. Yeah,
So 60
that's
grand,
still here.
you ain't gonna do a piece,
60
bitches.
grand is not enough for all my family, because I'm not gonna just leave them. I still got grandkids here. I still got
They come visit.
kids here. I got
They come visit.
sisters, brothers. I got uncles. Well, no, uncles are dead, but I got an auntie left. I got cousins that I was raised with from day one. So there's a lot of people that I would want to take, and that 60,000 is not going to be enough.
Well, since he gonna cut into my 60, so I guess I gotta stay.
I'm about to say, what you gonna do? What's your move?
He gonna cut into my 60, so I guess I gotta stay.
Wow. Let me find a button.
Oh my God! Cause he was like, I can set up, depending on where you are, you can set up and just sit here and ride this shit out, and you be all right. He didn't say you had to sell nothing. He just said you gotta go, and you can't come back until I'm out.
Right.
To me, it's about
But
strategy.
Who's saying he's gonna ever be out of there? This motherfucker plan on dying in the damn White House.
Well, hell, he about
He ain't
80,
going
so...
nowhere.
Yeah, that's what I said. 79.
He ain't going nowhere. You know what? This will be the one time where a person you don't like live to be 111.
With
He ain't
dementia.
going nowhere.
What
He
you
ain't
say
going
with
nowhere.
dementia?
With dementia.
Yeah, he might have that, but he's still in office.
Talking out the side of his neck.
Exactly.
Well, maybe that's not a bad thing if you get the dementia. Maybe we can change his mind on some stuff.
I think he already changed his mind himself. I
Look,
think it
we
already
ain't-
kicked in a little.
We ain't gonna be the ones to change his mind. If it ain't a pale color coming to him, we ain't changing
Dementia,
nothing.
you never know. Because I used to tell my uncle like all the time. I love for people with dementia during the daytime. You know, at night they get
Evil.
mean.
Right.
He's like, y'all had a hurricane? Yeah, we sure
Let's
did.
get
We
it
had a
on.
hurricane.
You gotta roll with it. Yeah, you just roll on with it. Yeah, I know
Y'all
that
just
one.
roll with it. We have a great conversation.
Child.
We have a great conversation. I be laughing my ass off.
I think he's actually surprised he won. Honestly,
Again?
I think he is. He probably wouldn't say it because he's classic case narcissist, right? So, and he's always practiced that way. So he is personality disorder. There's no medication to correct that.
No.
It is like it is like therapy. Like, look, do you see how this affects someone else? It's not a medication fix. It's a personality disorder. So yeah.
You know how presidents, they have writers for their speeches. Ain't nobody writing that stuff that Trump is
He
saying.
don't.
Trump is coming off the top of his head saying the dumbest shit ever, and dumber motherfuckers are voting for him.
Which I appreciate. There was someone who stayed in his last term. And I respected the man. I can't remember what position he played because, like, towards the end of Trump's last term, it pretty much people were bailing. And there was one guy who said, well, I'm not leaving because somebody got to be here to manage
This mess.
whatever is happening.
Right.
And I appreciated that man staying because I was just like, it could have been whatever. And it goes back to what there was a quote in Panther, the general, the lady with the, all of them had skin, but I can't remember her name. But she said, I can't leave this position because my marriage, and she didn't use marriage, is to the throne. Because I have to govern the throne.
Right.
But she wouldn't leave it because it's like, again, I got to manage the throne. So
Right.
whatever takes place next, that's how I'm going to move. And so I appreciate people, even though I may not agree or prefer what is going on, those who are just like, I'm attempting to stay with the integrity of what the intent of the policy or the office is. Because I said, if anybody else leave, it's going to be hell on earth. So I can't remember the guy's name, but I remember it being on NPR and them discussing that aspect. And I was like, I appreciate people like you because it could have been it could have went a whole nother way.
This is true.
Like making sure that he don't push the red button.
Yeah. Somebody please hide the button.
Right.
Please hide that button.
No, that's
What
a
they
garbage
need to do is
disposal.
just take it. Take the button and hide it in the left wing somewhere where he don't know where it's at.
Hide it in one of the black servants. So he ain't going in there. Put it in one of their rooms. He ain't going in there.
Oh God.
All right. Let's move on to celebrating some black excellence. All right. Every week, we recognize and celebrate the achievements and contributions African Americans have made to this country. So today, we celebrate Tony Todd. This was an American actor best known for playing Candyman. So Todd appeared in more than 100 theatrical and television films and played opposite many major Hollywood stars, playing roles in such movies as Platoon, to being the voice of the fallen in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, to Final Destination, and many roles he's played. He has been in many on and off Broadway plays to TV shows like Boston Public, Law and Order, Star Trek, The Next Generation, and more. So today, Tony Todd, we salute you and your contributions to making this country great. Rest in peace. All right, announcements. Woohoo! Night of Expression Artist Showcase. So, Mr. Denell Porché will be gracing our stage on November 23rd, starting at 7 p.m. at the Limelight Theater right here in Atlanta. So, and along with her, we got some amazing artists that's going to be sharing that stage. So, go to www.noeatlanta.com, get your tickets, and be there. Be there.
Come.
All right. Want to make sure we congratulations or just recognize. We got a couple of podcast shows. Of course, the Professor's Corner. We got her podcast show. It's Selena Ross, where we focusing on your children in these public schools. We also have Uncut with Y, bringing it to you real and uncut, talking about all the things that you are afraid to talk about, but she gonna talk about. Trust. We got Men Breaking Barriers, where men are talking and empowering other men.
Yes.
And you can catch these shows. And we got another one coming up probably at the beginning of the year. Let Me Say This by Mr. Free Will. And we also got one that we in the works of talking about is Unbreakable, Survivor's Testimony, where Ms. Denell will be a part of. Yes. So give it up to 2025. We ain't letting Trump do nothing. We still gonna keep it moving.
Still gonna kick the door down.
Yes. Yes. We still gonna be there. We still gonna make it happen.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So and again, this is our. Well, I ain't say that again. All right. We're gonna. And that is our show. But before we go, of course, we got to pay some bills. So here's a word from our sponsor, Terradome Entertainment. Terradome Entertainment. We turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities. If your dream is to become a photographer, we have a nice, intimate photo studio just for you. If you want to record that next hit song or do voiceover work, we have a state-of-the-art studio also for you. If you want to professionally record your own podcast, well, we have that too. Check us out at www.terradomeentertainment.com. We are the only ones to turn your fear of dreaming into amazing realities. Shout out to dude over there, producer extraordinaire, for some of those beats. If you have any questions or comments, email us at info@terradomient.com. That's info@terradomient.com. So, final words, DJ Talented.
Live life like you've been living it. Don't allow nobody to change your world. You're the only one that can change your world, so do that.
All right, Professor B.
Do not solely depend on the American public school system to educate your child. Please have your own educational plan at home.
All right, final words, Miss Denell Porché.
It is treacherous ground to believe that you do not have dominion in your life. Move in such a way that you claim not only your belief system as your authentic self. That's what I'm going to say.
All right, now, it is time for the Real Edge Check Your Truth time. Okay, so I made a choice not to watch the news on election night. I figured if things didn't go as I prayed, I didn't want it weighing on the little sleep that I managed to get. But when I woke up to the news that Trump had been reelected, I felt this wave of confusion and disbelief. There are more women than there is men in this country, and yet he's openly threatened women's rights. And I'm wondering, how could this be? And then hearing his plan to deport immigrants, even those with American families, left me even more bewildered. What really hit me, though, was knowing how much black men have suffered from brutality, disrespect, and abuse in this country, and now with the promises of full immunity for police officers, I found myself wondering, why are some of our own still supporting him? So I reached out to God feeling almost forsaken and asked, when will black women finally be protected? I'm not asking for anything special, just a chance to live in harmony without fear of going to work, going to church, or simply just stepping outside my door. But eventually I found myself trying to accept this new reality, and I asked God to forgive my doubts. I'm holding on, trusting that there is a plan, even if I don't yet understand. To my sisters, I know this struggle, who are fighting to live. I see you, and I am here with you. I am your president of the Real as People Society, so God bless you, and please bless these United States of America. All right, let's move on to the Real as quote of the day. The pain you feel today is the strength you feel tomorrow. For every challenge uncountered, there will be opportunities to seize and grow. Join us for the Real as People Society crew here on Terradome Entertainment Radio, and catch replays on TerradomeENTRadio.com or on Terradome ENT YouTube or on all your podcast apps. You can hit us up on IG at PowerOut_raps_crew. I am your president, MiZZ Entertainment. You can contact me at MiZZ_entertainment_ATL. My chief entertainment officer.
You can catch me on IG or basically any social media at DJTalented_1.
All right. Ms. Denell Porché.
You go find me still on Instagram at Denell Porche. And honestly, R2 Sustain, because that is up and going. So if you look for R2 Sustain, you will also find information there for upcoming events for 2025, but also one event for 2024. So I'm excited.
All right. Professor B.
And you can find me at the Professor's Corner on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, we on TikTok.
Yes.
Hey, fancy.
And always, I leave y'all with this. Be kind to each other. Love one another. Keep God first. Thank y'all for joining. Stay safe, and we're out.
Alrighty.